Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, crazy babies, to another episode of Jam Sessions with your host, yours truly, Joe Mykut. I have a really great author on today. I hope you enjoy the interview, and be sure to stay tuned after the interview for a few great book recommendations. Without further ado, I'm going to scooch along off stage and bring on our next author. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, crazy babies, to another episode of Jam Sessions with your host, yours truly, Joe Mykut. I'm here today with the author of the ebook, Any Reason to Smile Will Do, Miss Caroline Sands. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today so that we can get to know a little bit about you and your book. I'm super happy to have you.
I'm super happy to be here as well.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. So just to let the viewers know, Any Reason to Smile Will Do is soon to be a physical book that is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, etc. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But in the meantime, you can grab an ebook version of this book available on, what is the website?
Bookleafpublishing.com, I think.
Bookleaf.com. Absolutely. Okay. So yeah, be sure to go to bookleaf.com and check out Any Reason to Smile Will Do by Miss Caroline Sands. Now we're going to jump right into it. Tell us about your book. What is this book about in your words?
Well, this is my second collaboration of a ton of my poems, and the first one was a collaboration of poems which were titled A Lovely Life in Rhymes. And that is on Amazon and everywhere already. And then this one was more just the past 2 years, I would say, of poems, which were more just based on how I sort of see the world as sort of just dark and gloomy, and I'm trying to add a little positive spin on every negative aspect, and every little thing that's dark has some light into it. So if you can find any reason to smile, that'll do.
Absolutely. I think that's a beautiful, wonderful way to take the heavy and more serious aspects of life and give them a positive spin. That's really all we can do, and that really helps make the world a better place. That's doing our part to put something positive out. And I love the title, Any Reason to Smile Will Do. You're absolutely right. You've got to be able to find the light in the dark, and just
you got to be able to laugh at yourself as well.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, laughter is. I've said it before, and I keep going back to this. Mary Poppins said a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
One of my favorite movies, and my dad always said my mom is practically Mary Poppins, and
there you go.
She had the composure to stick it together when I was screaming as a little child. So I'd say she's practically
wonderful.
Mary Poppins in my books.
That's wonderful. That's probably where you get it from, and it's great for you to carry on that positive legacy. Now, can you tell us, on the cover of your book, there's some photography. Tell us about that.
Well, I've been taking photographs pretty much ever since I was a kid. I always enjoy just going out in the woods, and even in New England up here, we have, like, in the winter time, I just love catching the views that most wouldn't try to capture. Like it's just a woods with nothing there and just blankets of snow. I love that. I think one of my favorite moments was we had recent summer snow. Like it was just for a day. It was just like a few droplets of snow came down. It was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. It was like summer. We had a couple flakes of snow. It was beautiful.
Right in the middle of summer. That's wonderful. I've said before, I love doing the same thing. I love capturing beautiful moments in things that may otherwise be overlooked or just taken for granted to be everyday things. So I think that that's really cool to have an eye for that. And that's neat that you have some photography included in this book of your own.
Actually, when I went to Florida, most of those are, I went to Florida recently to visit my grandma in the hospital. And in the book, I actually was able to include the photos from Bella the Swan. She sort of stole my heart. She was the Black Swan, and she had a mate named Harvey who had recently died. And, so she was just a little pesky swan that no one else seemed to be able to interact with. But every day that I was down there, I went to visit her, and she just like kept me sound while I was, keeping my mom and my grandma sound. And so
That's really beautiful, and I think that's a really cool story, and that's something for everybody to look forward to when they get your book. Is Bella the Swan?
And I do, sorry, there was an
go ahead.
Easter egg at the end of the book, because I had on my return flight home, I had a flight attendant from JetBlue. I wanted to shout him out because he had helped me when I was about to have a seizure.
Oh, wow.
And so it was phenomenal. And I was reviewing my book before I was approving it for publishing. And so I had it there. And so I had actually given him a drawing of a honey badger. And so I included that honey badger drawing in the last page of the book with the poem that I gave to him. So a little Easter egg to the JetBlue attendant.
Oh, that is really cool. I love all the
out in the book forever as a moment of appreciation. So
that is wonderful to memorialize that, and I think that's really cool that there's so many personal touches in this book. Now, speaking of that, do you have a favorite part of the book? Is there a favorite piece of work within the book that is near and dear to your heart?
I think there's a couple of them. I couldn't say off the top of my head. I'd have to. I know that one of them my mom had really given me praise for, which was really nice, and that was called Double War. And that one is actually, I had done a lot of research about World War II, and I was trying to take it from like a neutral tone and just share how negative war in general is, and it's not really ever going to do anything good as far as words could do. I mean, a room full of mines is going to solve things better than a room full of guns or
Absolutely.
bombs.
Yeah,
any destruction.
Yes, I believe war is the prime example of humans' failure, human beings' failure to be kind and to be able to communicate. It is a failure in every way that we resort to war. So I agree with you, and that is a very sad part of our reality. Now, give us a unique and interesting fact about Caroline, something maybe that the viewers or your fans don't know about you.
Well, I'm born on April Fool's Day, so that definitely makes me a lucky in definitely many ways. I have 4-leaf clover, 5-leaf clover finding skills. Just
cool.
Somehow, I actually leave them as tips. Like I literally will give people, because I had our boiler replaced, and I had found 5 4-leaf clovers in our yard. So I was able to give every one of our installers by the end of the day 4-leaf clover.
Wow. How cool is that? You just find them in abundance. Wow.
Yeah, I don't like. My dad took me for a walk with our dog, and he challenged me. He told me to find one, and I found like 4 of them, and I left a couple of them that I didn't need.
That's really cool. Yeah,
I like to spread a little luck as well, because if I ever find a penny and it's face up, or if it's face down, I put it face up.
So, yeah, there you go. So the next person
I'll just leave a loose penny face up, spreading some extra luck everywhere.
I think that's really cool that you stop and actually flip it over, so that the next person that finds it face up, for that little tale of luck. That's really cool. So it's been really awesome getting to know a little bit about you and your book, Any Reason to Smile Will Do. If Caroline spoke to the world today and shared a tidbit of information from her to the world on how to make it a better place, what would you say to the viewers?
I would definitely love to see virtual reality education become a thing. That was something that when COVID times happened, um, I had just the idea of why isn't there like more of an outlet that's more virtually based, because it would really save. And I had a feature in this book as well where I talked about the idea, but that was a segment that I really feel strongly, and I shared to with someone who was working at Dunkin' Donuts, and she said that her son would really benefit from that because he has health issues that school isn't really a good option for. So that was an
Yeah.
idea. And then I also would love to see non-food waste become more of a thing, especially like working at Dunkin' Donuts again. I worked there myself, and I would volunteer my time to, you know, bring the donuts or the bagels to food shelters because they throw them away at the end of the day. And it's
Right.
if we just had more, you know, self awareness to our waste, then maybe everyone's plate could be more full at the end of the day.
I think that is so beautifully said. That's such a wonderful way to wrap it up. If we were more self-aware in our waste, maybe everyone's plate would be more full at the end of the day. Words well spoken, and I couldn't agree with you more. I think those are two wonderful ideas that I agree with you. With the safety of public schools being in question, and
And
lots
one
of
last actual idea. This was a 3-second rule that I had actually taken a driver retraining program after I had a car accident. And a state trooper had given us such a helpful speech. And one of the rules that he really turned my mind around about, because I never followed the 3-second rule with food. But he taught me the 3-second rule for on the road, which has saved my life, my stress, everything ever since I really started driving again. And that's really just 3 seconds will literally just give you time to react to everything. It will give you time to let someone in if they need to, because you're even if you are in the right of way, there could always be something else that's happening. So
sure,
yielding, keeping your
yeah,
eyes and mind open, and off our
making
phones and everything, because it's
yes,
scary just going out on the road. But at least being, open to what's going on. Yes, being aware
yeah.
of everything. And
Yeah, giving yourself that extra time to prepare for the unexpected, or just last minute accidents. I think that's a great tip. So, I mean, you've given the viewers three wonderful things to think on. I couldn't agree with you more. It's always a great thing to make the roads a safer place, to have safer options for schools, and to focus on our waste so that we can share more with people in need. So I think that is a really wonderful way to leave the interview. It's definitely fitting and in honor of your title of your book, Any Reason to Smile Will Do.
I
It
know
sounds like,
I've been smiling all interview, so
well, I think you're encouraging others to do the same, and that's a really positive thing. So keep up at it. I can't wait to see your book come out in physical form on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So you guys keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, go grab yourself an ebook copy at bookleaf.com of Any Reason to Smile Will Do by Caroline Sands. Thank you so much for joining us today.
thank you as well for having me.
Absolutely. Until next time, crazy babies. All right, crazy babies. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Jam Sessions with today's author. Be sure to check out their book and grab a copy. Also, check these great books out. My children's book called Beautiful Boy by Joseph Mykut, available on Amazon.com. A great collection of poetry by Alicia Hodge, titled I May Be a Romantic, But I'm Not Hopeless, available on Amazon.com. Another great collection of poetry by Marie Dawn Moldovan, titled 20 Years of Winter, also available on Amazon.com. And last but not least, this is the first book, Vocus Animarum, in a series, a 7-book series titled Philly Der Bedlam. Again, this is the first book that is out and available, Vocus Animarum. It's also available on Amazon.com. Be sure to stay tuned. Right after this, I'm going to leave you with a teaser video about that series. The author not only directed and produced this video, but he also created the music that you'll hear in the background. Enjoy.